Welcome to the UNCIVIL Mentality Podcast. I'm Erik Vidal.
And I'm Reilly Kilbride.
Let's go. Let's go. We are live. All right, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah, man. So let's just let people know why we're doing this, or like how this came about, the genesis of this idea.
This was actually your idea.
It was, man. So we live in this, this echo chamber of like firefighting stuff and firefighting ideas. And when you see people on the internet that you think like, man, we align, like that looks like my people, or we're cut from the same cloth. And that's what I just thought when when I saw like all the stuff you post, and I'm like, man, he's got to be like me. He's got to be the same
Right.
cloth I am. So
Right.
yeah, I was like, let's make something happen.
Right. To add on to that, when you see something familiar, something that you recognize, you kind of like resonate with it, the message, or just someone's actions or the way they carry themselves, or yeah, man, you just know. Once you see something that you kind of like gravitate towards that, right?
Yeah,
I've always heard this quote, this phrase, the 1% will find each other type of thing.
absolutely.
So like-minded individuals, on the same path, on the same mission, we recognize what we see.
Before we came on here, we said we're just real doing real shit.
Okay.
And that's who we're making this podcast for. I mean, people that like to get after it, not only physically, but mentally through their family life. Like this podcast is for everyone, not really.
Right.
We are both firefighters, but it's for anyone that is going through something or wants to face adversity, wants to become a better person, a better mom, dad, brother. Like that's what we're here to do through shared experience.
Correct. Right. I'm sure, and I'm sure that if there's someone that sees me, knows I'm a firefighter, but I'm more than that, right? I'm a father first. I'm a brother. I'm a son, friend. Fiance. These are the things that I am. Hence my handle. I am Erik Vidal. This is who I am.
Give
my
us like
profession.
a elevator pitch of Erik Vidal. Who am I? For the people that don't already know you.
So yeah, I'm a firefighter. That's my profession, right? I'm honored to be in that coveted, occupation, right? Grateful. This is where I've always wanted to be, right? I just taken some detours in life to end up where I've always wanted to be at. But yeah, better for it. It wasn't my first rodeo. I didn't get hired initially. My first application. I took several applications to get hired, and that just built character, man. I mean, I went back to school. I went to an education of higher learning. I went to the university, got my degree in communication, and I am the man you see before you today because of that experience. Otherwise, I'll be someone totally different. I'll be somewhere else. So, anyways, long story short, we are where we're supposed to be.
Absolutely. Right? Well, I'll introduce myself. I'm Reilly Kilbride, live in Columbia, South Carolina, 31 years old, 32 in May. I've been a firefighter for about 3 years now in Lexington County Fire Service in Columbia, South Carolina. I am married to my beautiful wife, and we are having a child here in the next year. So this is going to be a great document of like our life going through this. But I love this job. I love everything about it. I love the teamwork. I love the service, the humble servant, and just being there for people on their worst days. I'm super passionate about that. My family has military background, and I never felt like I was like upstanding my family's name by not having a servant job. And in my 30s, I was lucky enough to get into the fire service to kind of fill that hole. But it's been amazing. It's given me way more than I've ever can imagine. And I'm only 3 years in, and I'm super excited for the future and to be around and learn from like-minded individuals. But I'm going to go back to what you said, and I'm going to be the guy that's always kind of poking you to get a little bit more info. When you say you tried multiple times, like let people know, like what did that look like? Like your multiple attempts, like that. When you told me that story, I died laughing. So let people know about that a little bit.
Well, my journey to the fire service, it's not like you could just, go down to City Hall and, hey, I want to be a firefighter, or I want to be in law enforcement, just fill out an application and, you get hired. No, there's a open recruitment, right? There's a seasonal type of thing that they open up applications every so often. So initially, man, my first application, super young, early 20s. Uh, uh, I want to be a cop initially. So I went down to the police department, got an application when they opened up recruitment. Um, Long story short, I was told I didn't have enough life experience, or, I was too young, which was the gist, which is what I got out of it. Fast forward 13 applications later. Yeah,
That's fucking wild,
I
man.
cannot I cannot stress how much character and resilience was built on all those rejections. It was just redirection, right? Um,
But be real. Did you want to quit in those moments when you got a no? Like, what
dude,
was your initial thoughts
dude,
when you got those no's? Because I've gotten no's
I
before, and they
this
suck. They
I
suck.
was disheartened, to say the least. If initially I had no experience, and then when I came back from war, I served in the army. I came back from Iraq. Now I had too much experience, and so I was like, damn, damn if I do, damn if I don't, type of thing. But yeah, the second to last application, I was borderline depressed. No, I was depressed. I'm not gonna say borderline. I got severely depressed. I went into this depression state. I'm not good enough. I'm not adequate. I'm not worthy. How can this happen? I thought I was better than this. I thought I was, you know, appropriate for the position. I'm willing and able to do the work. I have all this experience under my belt. All these years of training I want to put to use, and it just wasn't my time, bro. In hindsight, in retrospect, looking back, it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. That's when I went back to the university, right? I got my bachelor's in communication. I went to FIU, but it didn't happen overnight, right? It took me a while to like comprehend and embrace and accept the fact that, it's not your time, bro. This ain't for you right now at the moment. But when I was in it,
It's brutal to
I
go
could
through
not
those
see the
moments.
light.
Yeah.
It was dark, bro, because I had put all my eggs in one basket. And then, on the flip side, or just to caveat off of what I'm talking about, you always hear, "Oh, how bad do you want it? Go after it," type of thing. I was like, bro, this is my, we're in double digit applications now, Brad.
Yeah.
You don't know the story. That's why
Yeah.
I far and few times though. That's why, I try not to be so judgmental or quick to judge, because you don't know the person, what they're going through, or you're not in that person's shoes. You haven't walked them out in their boots or whatnot. So I try not to be judgmental, but again, if the person shows you their true colors, this is who they are. That's what it is, right? But again,
They rarely make movies about people that everything goes right in their life. Like those aren't the
dude,
great stories. The great stories aren't told by the, overnight success or like the
right,
lucky guys. Like
right,
that's a movie I wouldn't watch.
right,
I always tell like
correct.
you got to hit some
No,
adversity.
but in real life, right, in reality, pick me, choose me, I'm
Mm,
worthy.
yeah,
No, no, bro.
yeah.
This ain't for you, type of thing. And it's a rude awakening when someone, like, you put so much effort, so much time, and into something that you really desire, like, it like deep within yourself, like, I'm meant for this, and you're stiff-armed and you're told no. That rejection is like, man, I had to go back to and center myself. I had to go back to the drawing board, and I had to figure out, okay, where am I deficient? Wh- Where, like, okay, I'm not strong at this. I'm gonna get stronger at this. I'm weak at this. Just call it for what it is, man. I failed, right? I felt like a failure, but that didn't define me though,
Mm.
right? Because on that 14th one, that
14. That should be
14th,
your number for everything. Like Erik Vidal, 14, 14,
bro,
14.
that 14th application, I was finally given the chance, right? I was given the opportunity. I just heard it. I heard that yes, man. I heard that yes. You are accepted, bro. I remember getting that phone call from my current department, and, oh, we're considering you for a conditional letter of employment. Send me the details. I got that email. I was like ecstatic. You know that feeling in that Pursuit of Happiness movie with Will Smith when he's down the
Yeah.
stairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Far and few moments like that are in my life, right? my greatest like memory is my daughter being born, number one. Um, Getting that phone call from the fire department, uh, that 6 day, passing the Georgia Smoke Diver program, graduating flight school.
Mm.
That's huge for me. Just man, a year and a half out in Fort Rucker, just flying helos, and you get those aviator wings, and now you're an Army aviator. Man, what's
Well, we were
memorable?
talking about this earlier, and we want to share our experience now, like share our experiences, like with a servant's heart. Like we're not here to brag or be alphas or anything. Like you've done a lot of work, and we're here to share it with others now. Like like you said, there's a page that's being turned, and we can't just keep the success we've had or the things that we've had that's worked for us. We're not keeping that for us anymore. We need to share this. Like that
Yes,
joy that you had, the joy that I've had in some of my success, we want to
yes,
spread that. We want to give
yes,
that away. If I could bottle it and give it to my friends, I would. But that's what this is about as well. It's like we want to help people get that feeling. Like we're
yeah.
here to
Well,
help you get there.
it's a mindset, man.
Yeah.
That uncivil mentality, that uncivil mindset. It can be summed up in a sentence. It can only be, I guess, encompass in like examples. Everything I ever did was because of fear. Full stop. Like
Yeah.
I was scared of heights. I skydove. Right? I skydived. I became a pilot. Right. I was not going to let fear like debilitate me at all. Fear is a feeling. Don't get it confused. Please don't get me wrong. Don't get it confused with danger. Danger is prevalent, is real, but fear is a feeling, right? That's just your body telling you, okay, something's about to happen, type of thing, but it hasn't really happened yet. Um, right. I I don't speak well, right? I think I don't speak well.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Kilbride, Mr. Vidal, let's do a podcast. I mean, let's go. Um, but yeah, I mean, Tim Grover calls it relentless, right? Um, kudos to the man. Kobe calls it the Mamba mentality. I
Yeah.
mean, these are different individuals, right? With a similar mindset. I'm not comparing myself to those gentlemen. I'm just saying that what they call one thing, we call it something else. We call it uncivil. It's going up against, not being unapologetic and not caring about what other people think and just striving for like not stopping to you attain the goal or the task or the mission at hand. I mean, that's just it. You have to be in that zone, I guess, for lack of a better term, to achieve these things. I wasn't supposed to be a pilot. I wasn't supposed to be a pilot. There was a lot of red tape. My eyes weren't 20/20. My vision was 2100. I had to get PRK, a form of LASIK surgery to correct my vision to become a pilot. I had to take a test. It was just a common knowledge aptitude test. I scored fairly well, and that's where that amber that sparked like, okay, this is possible. You know, before being a pilot, I was a combat medic, not knowing, not having any medical, um, I guess, training or background. I enlisted in the army and became a medic, and I was given instructions and guidance and classes to become a medic. So these are things, man. If you're we're not born knowing anything. I mean, we have an innate ability within us. Uh, I mean, some people call it a driving force. I just call it curiosity. I'm just curious. I'm just a
Well,
curious
you
dude.
seem to, it's a theme that I'm hearing is that you keep putting yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable. Like you're like, okay, like I want this thing,
uh,
but I'm uncomfortable here, so I'm gonna do that. Well, that is a
100%.
thing. That is a mindset.
That
That's a
that
freaking genetic code of your body. That's like
something
the
you have
thing,
to
yeah. The
go ahead.
thing
Go
that I
ahead.
am most uncomfortable with is the thing that I want to be close to or getting more comfortable with. I think soon and often people will stay away from the uncomfortable, stay away from something they're not proficient at. And seems like you just do that on the reg. Like you just want to go for it all the time, which is super like admirable. But that's something that you can't like you can teach or you can't. Like you can either get into those things that make you uncomfortable or you avoid them forever. I've only met two kind of guys, or girls or anyone. They either love the adversity or they run from it.
Correct. Um, Example, CrossFit, right? a burpee or a thruster. We hear it all the time. Oh, burpees, this and that. Oh, a thruster, this and that. I was like, I just want to do them until like I don't have to think about them anymore, right? I just
That's
want to do a
up.
burpee, just get down, you just get back up. You know, you fall, you get back up, jump clap type of thing. I want to go through the motion and just like, yes, okay, I got it. You know, it just clicks. I got it. I'll get it. Oh, this is
I'm
taxing.
currently getting
Why?
there with up downs and gear. Like that's where I want to be. I want to be so
Yeah.
in there and so
Yes,
ingrained in my DNA that I know
bro.
exactly what it's going to feel like.
An up down. This, if I could share anything with you, is how you breathe.
Yeah.
So you get down, you exhale as you're coming up, type of thing. So you take a breath in as you go down, and as you're coming up, you exhale, and then just keep that. It's robotic in nature, man. Just get up and down. You're hinging, right? You're hinging at the waist. You get down, get back up. Anyways, back to the burpee and the thruster. Out these movements will like borderline debilitate anyone. Oh, and you hear commoners or people just in general say, "Oh, burpee sucks, this and that." So I just want to do them, so I don't have to think about them. I want to do a thruster, so I don't have to think about it. So I'm gonna get good at. I'm just gonna do these movements until it's second nature. And now it's nothing, right? It's just work. It's just another day in the office type of thing. It's just habit. You know, they say habit forming or muscle memory. These are just two school of thoughts. Either it's habit forming or muscle memory. So
Like, let's switch gears a little bit. Uncivil apparel, training gear, the Uncivil Mindset podcast. This is this three-headed monster that we're trying to get out there and obviously talk more about. But let's get going with training gear. So let's kind of tell people what our thoughts are on that. And
I do training gear, three little words, just happen to be on a shirt and a flag. That's it. It's not mine. Um, it's a community behind the whole like concept and mission and purpose. I can't emphasize this enough. It was way before I got to the fire service. It's going to be long after I depart the fire service. So this is not mine. This is ours. The same way you like, if you know, you know, man.
mm,
Like you see those words, training gear, either you know or you don't know. Either you resonate with it or you don't resonate with it. I mean, it's as simple as that. I am aware. I live in South Florida, man. This is the Caribbean. We live in the Caribbean. The humidity and the heat are unforgiving down here. Just like a structure fire is unforgiving, a vehicle fire, a warehouse fire, you name it, unforgiving. So we have to train in gear to acclimate to our surroundings. It's our profession. It's our job. You hear it all the time. We took an oath, right? I'm going to honor that oath.
yeah.
I'm going to be ready. I will be ready. I am ready. Oh, real quick, the training gear task. Uh, Jason Gilbert, shout out to Jason Gilbert. At Gilbert's grinding, Gilbert
Yeah,
grinding,
yeah,
at Gilbert's
legend.
grinding. What a
Yeah.
true testament of a handle to a man. Real quick, uh, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Absolutely.
So he released a workout on Sunday. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know what the workout was.
I'm getting ready to do this here in the next hour, so
The
I'm super
workout
excited
was
about it.
was done moments after it was released. Now, I want you to understand what I'm trying to say, right? The workout that was released was conducted moments after it was released.
Oh
We
yeah.
stay ready, bro. We stay ready. I'm telling you, if I would have gone out the night before, if I would have been inebriated, if I wasn't the person I say I am, that workout would have crushed me.
What's the workout? Let the people know what the workout is.
Workout is a 60-minute EMOM for 60 minutes, correct, an hour.
It
Every
sounds
minute
much
on the
longer so
minute
far.
is 5 up downs with a double dumbbell snatch.
Heck
So
yeah.
5 up downs, dumbbells in hand. As you stand up, you go into a snatch. 5 of those every minute. Totally doable.
Totally
Totally
doable.
doable. I did it. I conquered it. Now, mind you, you're gonna get into your feelings. I mean, I'm only human, right? I'm just a man. By that 40-minute mark, I was contemplating life.
I
At
love those
minute
workouts.
50,
That's where we do growing right there. That's the growing moments.
my man, Riley, dude. Minute 50, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I still wasn't done yet. You still have because you hit minute 50. So at minute 59, that's when the workout ends, correct? Because
Mhm.
3, 2, 1, go, minute zero, that's your
Mhm.
first iteration or your first round. The last round is between minute 59 and minute 60. So you have that whole minute to complete the 60th round, which starts at minute 59. I mean, if you know, you know. I was just so glad to finish in bunker top and bunker bottoms and work boots. I used 25-pound dumbbells.
Okay.
They were, it was adequate. It was suffice, to say
Yeah.
the least. It was suffice. Out in the open, sun, luckily, the heavens, the clouds parted some shade. It was a
Mother
slight
Nature was looking out
breeze,
for you.
but the sun, man, just being out in the elements again, that South Florida heat, that South Florida humidity does not care about your feelings, man. But the work was done, and the sense of accomplishment after the work was done, man, all I could think about just be just hold on to what you have.
Mm.
I was focusing at the task at hand, right? The task at hand was the 5 up downs within a minute. I had more than ample time to rest to attack the following minute. And that was the mindset. It was, if you look at the whole picture, it could get overwhelming. It could be daunting. And you could like spiral downward or out of control, whatnot. But I kept it in perspective. I was just focusing on at what I had to do at hand. And it was done. It was accomplished. Um, the feeling of elation, it was solace. All these all these words to describe what I was feeling at the moment. It was tranquil and solace. And when everything was said and done, accomplished, task complete.
Shout out to Gilbert's grinding for sure.
Good was grinding.
We talked about like a little bit earlier. You talked about training gear and it's just again, it's such a hot topic right now. You hear
Okay.
people talking
Okay.
about
Yeah. Let's get right into it.
PFAS and this and that and
Mhm.
being prepared for the job and then not training in gear. And I'm gonna speak personally and candidly, like how we speak all the time. I know the risk. We're accepting that risk to do our job at the high level that we want to do. That's a risk we're having to be able to take. We want to be able to be ready at any moment's notice to do our job at the highest level. That's almost like a definition, but it's we should be training for. You should be able to move in your gear. Your gear should not be a limiting factor in the performance. You should never be like, wow, I could have done that, but my gear was really getting to me. They don't care about that. The person inside that building, the house is on fire, anything, the gear should not be a limiting factor in what we do. And I'll stand on that. I'm going to stand on that until, I get that 25, 28-year retirement. Like I need to be in shape and be ready to go do my job at any moment's notice and with the gear that we have. So it's a non-negotiable for me is just being ready. And if that comes with risk, I'm willing to take that risk. I'm all right with it. I've to me, I've already made it. I'm in the Hall of Fame of my life. I've got a wife, I've got a business, I've got friends, I've got family, I've got a kid on the way. Like I've done all the things. I'm ready. Whenever he's ready to take me, I'm ready. But I've got a lot left to do. But I'm okay with that. That's the job. That's the oath. Is that not the oath? Then what are we doing here?
You're preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah, well,
My
well,
brother,
hopefully we get
amen.
this to the choir that's not here.
Amen. I feel a similar way. I feel the same
Mm,
way.
mm.
I was a young kid overseas, right? I was a child in war.
Child and War,
You
man.
think you think I
That's got
care
to be your
about
book title.
PFAS?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
think I care about damn PFAS,
yeah.
right? I'm aware of my mortality, man. I'm at peace with my mortality, right? I'm aware I'm not gonna live forever. I mean, okay. Why are people so worried about my mortality?
Mm,
Is what
yeah.
I so I when I was 22, 23, right? I enlisted in the army. I swore to defend this nation against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I went overseas. OIF 5. I was in war, 15 months, came back, right? I I've been scared for my life a handful of times. I don't I the furthest thing from my mind, right, is PFAS.
Yeah.
And all the crickets and critics that they come onto my platform, right, and tell me otherwise.
I
No,
think
that's
I
not to say that.
saw something the other day is like when they figure out a way to get rid of PFAS, what's going to be the excuse to not want to train? I was I was like, what else are they going to find?
But
Is
man,
it
I don't know. I don't
the
know.
air
I
is too thick for us to train, so
no,
we
yeah.
can't train?
So overhaul operations turns out to be, I mean, even lethal.
Yeah,
So yeah, neither here nor there. I just don't care what they have to say, man. It's
absolutely.
just
And that's
noise.
uncivil, baby.
It's just noise, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to be ready when those tones drop. I have to train in my gear. Like I said earlier, the the elements here are unforgiving, man. And we
Mhm.
have to acclimate to our gear. And this is the gear we have to do our job. And the job comes with risk. Like you said, I'm willing to take that risk. Me,
Mm.
discipline or regret. I I don't know, bro. I don't know how I would live knowing that I didn't do everything I did on my behalf to answer the call when I was called upon. I don't know what I would do, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna make damn sure that I train for the worst case scenario for that 1%, right? So
Yep.
that's what I'm doing.
I've seen great men pass doing this job and they were trained. They were ready to go. I mean, Jay Muller, like I'll say his name. I need to say it more than I already do. Like he was a dialed in mother, like dude was ready to go. And they didn't get like he was ready and wasn't, able to, make it out. And that happens. Like you could be the most dialed in guy and happens. Like
Yes,
sad, but I'd rather be ready. I'd rather be ready. I'd rather be ready.
I'm with you, brother. I'm right there
Yeah.
with you. I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah. Well, I know you will, but we got it. So, what do you think our strategy should be to get the people that are on the fence? Like, how do we get to the people that aren't sure about training and gear or being fit for the job? How do you go about that?
This is a fine line, right? How to how to lead the horse to water.
Mm.
What we can do, what I do, is I control the controllables, right? Like you've often said, like Mr. Jared Johnson has said, control the controllables. I'm gonna work on a gear, and hopefully that inspires someone, you know, so they can move or be approachable, right? Hey man, I see you do this and that. I want to partake in the festivities, or just flat out say, hey, I'm gonna work out in the bay. If anyone cares to join me, more than welcome to. Nothing too ball busting, right? And just get after it. Or learn a skill. Throw a ladder, stretch a hold line, force a door, something that's you know, job related type of thing. It doesn't have to, you don't have to work out in gear, but training gear. Hence, it was carefully thought of when training gear was put together, right?
Yeah.
We train in gear, whether it be train the mind, train the body, train your skills. We're training. We're not just, exercising or, you know, getting on the ground, getting back up type of thing. No, we're training. So, um, like I said, man, this is not mine. This is ours. You know,
Yeah.
you
Well,
you
I
get
think
it.
we've done a great job of finding individuals that are like us. And every time that we kind of expand the who's writing the workouts, or if people aren't following the at training gear Instagram, go follow that weekly workouts for people that are a first responder or anything like that. Like we're growing this from the inside out, which is a cool thing if you ask me. People like us are trying to reach more people like us. It's like I think it's the
Correct.
coolest thing. But follow that page and it's for the people by the people, it's it's
100%.
our it's our people doing it. It's more people like us. Like it's a good way to connect. It's a good way to, find
Community.
other people that are that same mindset. So I just love that that idea is built. It's growing from the inside out instead of the outside in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. It's like a ripple,
Yeah, exactly. I
like a
love.
pebble.
I'm a big component of like sometimes social media can be bad, but sometimes social media can be good. And this is an example for people to be positive in the social media presence they have. Like I just love like are like people I keep calling that, but like people that are on training gear and stuff like that. We see that like someone put something up and we're like, hell yeah, brother, like keep going. Like the positive and encouragement that we see out there is like that's contagious, and that's the type
Yes.
of world I want to live in. But
So we're creating it.
yeah,
You're
dude,
creating it. You're creating it on your end.
yeah, man,
I'm hopefully, I'm doing the same on my end, and you know, yeah, man, community,
Yep.
team over
That's
self
really
type of thing.
what this podcast wants to be about as well, is that we're going to bring on guests and we're going to talk about different subjects as well. And like, basically, this is for the people, by the people as well. We want to talk about things that, you guys want to learn, or you guys want to hear us talk about, or, you know, anything firefighter related, life related, things like that. So this podcast doesn't have to be firefighter people. It could be really anyone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I keep on saying but damn, my background's in the military,
Mm.
CrossFit, the CrossFit space. Now I was in the fire service, all these different industries where I have a reach, right? Where I've been involved in, whether it be, a medic in the Army or pilot in the Army, the CrossFit community as a CrossFit coach and athlete, and now as a firefighter in the fire service. Man, there's a common theme there, service,
Mm.
humble servant.
Yep.
I came from humble beginnings, and I'll never forget where I came from. That being said, I don't want to go back there. Right? We're going.
Yeah.
We spirit forward. Right. So, to all the viewers and listeners out there, the UNCIVIL Mentality Podcast. Thank you for joining us. On behalf of myself, Erik Vidal,
And I'm Reilly Kilbride. Get after it. Get in your gear. Start f***ing training. It can never be enough.
But again, I just want to say, Reilly, thank you so much, man.
Dude,
This would
this
not
is
be
gonna.
possible for you. I'm telling you right now.
I,
It got to the point where, like, okay, I've done X, Y, Z, right? I have all these accolades, these stacks of proof, and now I just want to be speak it, right? Be a
yeah.
better speaker, be well spoken. And I think this opportunity, just because I had you like believe in me, and I had Mel believe in me, that's it's a testament of like I don't want to let you guys down type of thing.
We'll have episode 1 and then we'll have episode 100 and we'll compare. And I'm telling you, you're going to be like, wow, we've come a long way just speaking. So
Yeah,
I'm super excited, brother.
I think this was a solid episode 1.